Welcome back to the Afinida Insurance podcast. We're really excited to be talking with two of our insurance experts once again, Alyssa Wilcox and Victoria Cowart. Today, we're talking about all things health insurance and whether you're just an individual person that wants to know a little bit more about your health insurance options, or you're a business owner trying to better serve your employees with greater benefits. This is going to be a really helpful episode for you. So we're going to dive right in, and we're actually going to start with the direct consumer. So if you're somebody who is looking to better understand, what your health insurance policies actually mean, this first half's going to be for you. So Victoria, I'll throw this first one to you, and it's a question we get fairly often from people. What is a high deductible health insurance policy?
So that's a pretty easy one to answer. A high deductible health insurance policy is basically health insurance that has a lower monthly premium because you are, signing up to pay a higher deductible. There are some pros and cons to that. Some cons are, which is a big one, is because your deductible is so high, which means the amount of money you're going to pay before your insurance kicks in. A lot of people with these plans tend to put off going to the doctor because it is going to cost them. But there are some really great, preventative care that is included in these plans. It's just really something to think about. Do you want high deductible or do you want lower monthly premiums?
What kind of person, situation is a best fit for this? Let's say, I'm just a single person in my late 20s. I'm really healthy. Versus maybe somebody who's in their mid.
Those are more so the people. I would not suggest this plan to people with children or that already have some pre-existing health conditions. Like you said, I would more so, talk about this with someone in their early 20s that's very healthy. And, the biggest things that might happen would, God forbid, be an accident or something, but otherwise are typically healthy. Because like I said, these plans do come with preventative care. You get your checkups and stuff. So it's not like you're paying a bunch of money to do things that you would do as a normal, healthy person.
Next question, Alyssa, I'll throw this one to you. What is considered a pre-existing condition on a health insurance policy? You hear that a lot, that your rates will be affected by that, but what are those conditions actually?
Pre-existing conditions can range from anything that would have shown up on a blood test or some sort of diagnosis. I think some of the more common ones would be high cholesterol, diabetes, and then when you get to the more severe spectrum, cancer diagnoses or other more severe diseases that will impact the cost of your insurance and your care. So if you have diabetes, for example, and you rely on insulin to remain healthy, that would be something that the health insurance company would want to know so that they could factor that into your rating. Of course, on the more extreme diagnoses like a cancer, those are going to be very costly, and I think that many carriers would probably not want to offer coverage, if they could avoid taking on those costs of treatment.
What is your kind of playing off of that? What's your best advice if going in? It's not something like a cancer, but I know I'm pre-diabetic, or I know that I have some kind of chronic, pre-existing condition, but I need health insurance. What's kind of your best tips for somebody to find something that obviously you're probably gonna have to pay more than the average person would, but how do you find even coverage that will help you?
Yeah, I think that the key is to just be honest in the applications, fully disclosing anything that you're aware of so that there are no surprises, with the carrier, because if you don't submit that information up front, they could penalize you for providing fraudulent information. So I think the key is more just being upfront with your current health picture. Certainly if you have information about how you are managing the condition, whether it be through diet or exercise, those sort of things can help. But really it's just being upfront and honest.
Kind of switching gears towards the employer side of things. We're talking to business owners now, managers, people who want to offer benefits to their employees. We get this question a lot. How do I offer my employees health insurance? Which is really general and open-ended. So Victoria, maybe it's like your best advice, direction on if either maybe I'm starting a new business, but maybe I also have been in business for a while, but I'm looking to make a change to offer my employees better benefits. What are kind of like the best next steps for that?
My best advice is to reach out to a broker that deals with group health insurance. There are several options. So you can get a group health insurance plan. And, that does, like I said, if you're working with a broker, you're going to figure out the level of coverage you want to offer. What are your eligibility requirements? Like, are you offering to part-time, full-time only? There's certain things. And there's also other options. You can do what's called a health stipend. So you're not necessarily getting health insurance for your employees, but you're giving them all a fixed amount of money on their paychecks so that they can go out and seek their own health insurance if you're not planning on offering a group plan. So there's kind of a few different options, but you do want to work with a broker because there's certain, tax implications for whatever choice you're going to make. And like I said, you need to figure out what type of coverage you want to provide to your employees. And there's just a lot of things to think about. So that's why I always think it's best to work with a broker so that they can help you navigate the ins and outs of the best option for your business.
So talking about the group benefits, let's say that you are going to go full on like group health insurance, Alyssa, what do those costs typically look like to offer that sort of program to your employees?
The costs are definitely based on the employee's census that you provide. So whenever you're getting a group rate, you need to provide pertinent details about your employees. Typically, the rating is based on age and your sex, because women, of course, especially when they're in the childbearing years, having babies are expensive. So that is factored into the cost. So it's all based on the type of program that you decide to offer, whether it's a high deductible, or you want to do something that has low upfront costs, or out of pocket costs, I should say. So you're paying more monthly, compared to those higher deductible ones where you're going to be paying that out of pocket as the coverage is used. So the plan, as well as the age and sort of the census of your employees, are the things that factor into the cost. If it's individuals versus families, that is the other factor.
Yeah. So just kind of providing all that information, and it really is a custom kind of thing per business.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Well, we hope this episode of the Afinida Insurance Podcast was helpful for you, whether you are looking for your own health insurance or looking to offer it to your team. Make sure that you save and like this video so that you can reference it again. And we'll see you next time in our next episode of our Asked and Answered series.